This is an exciting one because if you want to grow your agency to high 6 or 7 figures in revenue, you need to monitor KPIs. And while there are a lot of KPIs that you could measure, you shouldn't measure every KPI because otherwise you get a lot of data, but you won't get any smarter. And in this video, I want to talk about the number one KPI that will give you the wealth and the freedom in your agency if you monitor it on a monthly basis and optimize your sales and your service fulfillment and your entire operations to maximize for this one single KPI. And I just discovered this around 5 years ago because in the days when I just started my agency as a freelancer, that was actually in 2006, I had no clue about management, about KPIs in sales and for managing my team. I literally knew nothing. I just was a developer, right? And so I've grew my agency to the first million. It took me 6 years and it was actually a total mess because, well, I had no idea how to monitor my progress and my results. And actually, even if I made $1 million in revenue, I didn't have a lot of profit. And even worse, I didn't have a lot of time for myself, for my family, for hobbies, for friends, and for actually growing my agency to the next level. And that was all because, well, I didn't know what really matters, what I really need to look at. And what I did instead is I've grown kind of a network or friends around me who were other agency owners or at least had service-based businesses like consulting businesses. And we always battled against each other who hired more people, right? So headcount was the main KPI we measured and we compared. But this is absolutely not what you should do because just the amount of people, right? Headcount as a KPI is no indicator at all for how well your agency is doing and how you achieve your goals with your agency. So headcount was one totally wrong KPI that I would not recommend at all to measure. So the second KPI was revenue, right? While revenue is very important because only if your revenues grow, your total profits can grow. But revenue is also not the main KPI because it's totally misleading. Most people think revenue is money on the bank, which is absolutely not. Revenue is just like how many clients you served and how much money they gave you. But then you need to also fulfill the services and that costs you money. You also have overhead in your business and you have also costs and expenses for marketing and sales. So all this needs to be subtracted from your revenues and that brings you a bit closer to what really matters. Profits, or in other words, net profit. The profit, which is the money that stays on your bank account. It can be before or after taxes because you cannot influence the taxes. Okay, you could move to Dubai or other countries with lower taxes, but anyway, that's not the strategy of this video. But profits is what really shows the success of an agency. But that's also not everything. If you just measure profits and maximize everything for increasing your profits, you might still see that your team is very stressed, you have a lot of failures, your clients are not happy, you are working endless hours to keep everything together and to fight the fires and handle the escalations and be in meetings all day because, well, nothing works without you, right? So the time you spend to get these profits, that is an important factor most business owners totally ignore. And that's why they are working 12 to 14 hours day and night, even on the weekend. And they can't even go on vacation because they need to take their laptop and their phone all the time. And they just need to make sure that the business doesn't crash if they are away for some days or weeks. And that is absolutely, unfortunately, the life that I had till 2018. But the opposite is the case today. Because I figure out that this is absolutely not what I wanted when I decided to start my agency. What I wanted is wealth and freedom. That's what I wanted. I wanted to do something meaningful. I wanted to create a great business that delivers great results for clients and has a happy team. And that gives me, as Manuel, as a private person, the money and the freedom to do what I really love and to care about my family. And just counting how many people you have in your agency or how much profit you make is no indicator for how well you are doing in terms of wealth, and freedom. So let me give you the number one KPI you should monitor and manage on a daily basis. And that is really the one KPI that gives you instant feedback on how well you are doing and what you need to optimize in your business. And this KPI is profits by hours worked. So you take the profits, can be net profit before or after taxes, that's up to you. I would calculate it actually after taxes because you then have the real profit that stays on your bank account, and you divide it by the hours you worked in or on your business. Okay, that's how you really can judge this investment, because you will see how much money you are making. And here's the truth. Most agency owners, they earn less than they would earn if they would be, for example, a freelancer, or if they would be employed in a corporate business and just had a normal job, right? Most agency owners, they still have a job. They don't have a real business. They have a very stressful job because they are working day and night and nothing works without them. So that's not a business. That's just a stressful job. So if you are aware of the number one KPI to grow your business, your agency profitably and with relaxed workdays, then things will start to change, because now you can look at what's working and what doesn't. You can manage your costs. You can manage your workload. You can manage your team. You can manage sales. You can manage your clients. You can manage everything to contribute in order to optimize this number one KPI, which is profits earned divided by hours worked. Okay. And really good agencies that are really like doing 7 figures already, or high 6 or 7 figures, right? They have a ratio where the business owner earns a minimum of 300 to 500 euro per hour worked. Okay. Because you've put in all the time and all the risk and all the sweat and the blood and everything to build this business, right? If you just had a corporate job, well, you just go in, you work, and then like at 5 p.m. you just go back home, and that's it. That's what you get paid for. Totally fine. Same if you are a freelancer charging, I don't know, 20 to 30, 50, 80 euro, depending on your skill, right? If you're a developer, it could be a bit higher. If you're a manager as a freelancer, it's much higher. But anyway, so you need to get rewarded for the risk you are taking to build this business, and for all the sacrifice and the stress you had while building this business. So the only thing that rewards you is the free time you get and the money you get without constantly working in the business and running in a hamster wheel. And this indicator, this KPI, profits divided by hours worked, gives you a clear instrument to optimize your agency on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis, at least on an annual basis, but that's pretty slow. So what I would recommend as a routine to optimize your agency and your life actually is to just go into your balance sheet, or better in your profit and loss statement, where you see the revenues minus all the costs, and check your profit in the specific month. Okay. And then divide it by the hours you worked in this specific month. That's your KPI. That's what you need to optimize. So now, how do you get a better ratio? How do you make more profits without working more hours? Well, if your business has like less than 500,000 euro revenue per year, or less than 40K revenue per month, your profit should be at least 50%, right? Typically it's you, and eventually you have 2 to 3 team members. If you have a lot more, you overhired, right? That's why your profits are low. You overhired and your team is not utilized, and that's why you're making just little profits. So it should be minimum 50% if you are at a ratio of 40K per month. If you are doing 7 figures, you will be more likely to balance around 10, which is low, 15, 20, 25% profit of your revenues. Okay. So if you want to get more and you have a healthy profit margin already, you can just scale it and increase your revenues, while knowing and ensuring and managing in that way that your business, like the operations, keep stable at the same cost ratio. You don't want to significantly increase your overhead costs and your fulfillment costs if your revenues go up. That's why it needs to be managed very precisely. Okay. And the second part is obviously, yes, your fulfillment cost. So you can increase your revenues, or you can decrease your fulfillment costs, right? And you can decrease your fulfillment costs and also increase your revenue with systems, right? Right now, eventually, You are the number one person in the business. You are the business owner. Sales depends on you. Service fulfillment depends on you. And actually, that's how most businesses start. But that is not how you want to end, because that's the root cause of the high workload and the high stress and little profits, because you become the bottleneck for growth, right? You need to remove yourself from being the bottleneck, and you need to make sure that you have systems in place. And based on these systems, you can delegate the service fulfillment or also marketing and sales to teams of freelancers and employees. And this is how you buy back your time. You just need to buy back your time in a way that your business still is profitable enough. Because what you're actually doing is you exchange time for money, right? But now it's not your time, it's the time of other people that you buy, you give them money, they give you their time, and they do something that is valuable for the business. Right? You can also give people money for their time, but they have no skills and they're just doing stupid things. Then, well, like, it has no value for the business. That's how you burn money, okay? That's the same as if you just blow out, I don't know, money for salespeople or marketing and you don't get any traction, any results. And then, like, you need to improve that. You need to fix that, optimize that, right? So, yeah, this is the number one KPI I would strongly encourage you to look at, to optimize, and to make sure that, well, you build a business that serves you, that works for you, and doesn't just work against you. If you are looking for more resources, or if you consider systemizing your agency so it can run and grow and operate profitably without you, below this video there are some links where you can start it. And if you are interested, I generated 13.4 million with my own agency in the last 4 years, and thanks to the power of systems, automation, and AI, I can manage this business with only 1 hour per day. If you want, you can get a shortcut. You can copy all these systems, install them to your own business, and don't reinvent the wheel, which is very expensive and time-consuming and stressful, but it will actually help you streamline the service fulfillment, get more leads, get more clients, and all that without you being involved all day. That's it for today. If you got value from this video, give me a like and subscribe. You will get a notification, because every week we release 2 videos that help you grow your business much faster, more profitably, and with less work. Cheers and happy scaling.